Where the fuck is Mellowhype? Mellowhype, where is Mellowhype, bitch?
Man, yo, I gotta say this has been this is a very interesting review, simply because of the fact that it's an album that's already been out for a minute, but we had a lot of requests to do it, and we had a lot of conversations back and forth about whether or not we really should do it. But so many requests, and we want to make sure that we try to touch as much as we can, when fans request certain things. So here is the review of Mellowhype, BlackenWhite, which dropped last year. Right, I think 2010. Nothing really new with the album other than taking some tracks off and adding a few tracks. I think it's a little bit less than the tracks that they had before because of clear. They took,
It's like 12 tracks now. The old one, on Halloween, came with like 16, 17 tracks.
Yep, they took
tracks. I didn't buy the re-release. I heard,
and you know what? Because they took off the track. They took off 6 tracks. Right, because they couldn't, which is really weird to me because they couldn't get clearance for that. So they took that off, and then there was another track called Hell. But I know it's the strangest thing ever.
I think it's more his parents.
Yeah. So they took. I have it here actually because I thought it was weird that they took these off. They took off Hell. They had Frank Ocean on it, Loco, Strip Club, the one with Earl Sweatshirt, Graham, and some other joint that they had. So it was like 6 tracks that they snatched off. I think it's typical Our Future. I mean, I don't know what else we can really say about it, other than I think the track 6-4 was really good. I like that track. And it was something else. Yeah, that's one of the newer tracks. So I thought that was good. I think one of the things about the rhyme style that I heard, it sound eerily like Tyler, the creator, a lot. And certain delivery, some of the flows that he used.
That's where I think we disagree a little bit. I think that when I first heard Our Future, I didn't really put him in a box, but I did put him in a category. Based off of Tyler and a few of the other tracks that I heard. When I got the Mellowhype album, I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, okay, so these dudes don't just talk about this. Like, they actually rhyme about other shit, like typical rap shit. Like, that's what I was saying to B a minute ago. I actually thought that Strip Club song was actually kind of funny. Yeah. I can't remember the hook exactly. Something like girls and love in the strip club. It was like happy and funny, but which I wasn't getting from them before. I was just getting dark, dreary. When Mellowhype's album, when I downloaded that, I was like, okay, this dude is actually very different from what I expected, and I don't really get a Tyler feeling from him. I think that Haji Beats actually has a really interesting style of rapping. I like the way he rhymes. I think that
a lot of people think he's like one of the best
somebody said on our Facebook page
they think he's like one of the best. I mean, a lot of people said
he's better than Tyler.
A lot of people said that
he might be better than Tyler on Tyler's bad days, because we all know that Tyler does have bad days when he puts together some kind of subpar verses. I think that, obviously, in my opinion, I think that Earl's at the top of the list. We have Tyler, we have Haji. Haji can rhyme. Haji can put good songs together. And I think for a minute he was kind of ignored, and I thought that kind of sucked. People were really looking at Earl, and I think the reason people were doing that. I think people were ignoring Frank. People didn't know that Frank Ocean was part of Our Future. People were looking at Our Future, and they were putting Tyler and Earl. And I think the reason they were doing that is the same thing that I did. They put him in a category. They thought that all they rhymed about was death, rape, killing, da-da-da-da. Yeah. Haji wasn't doing that, so they weren't really automatically relating him to Our Future.
Man, BlackenWhite, I liked it. I told my boy, I was like, all these people that like the Gucci, Walker, all that, F that, this is what they need to listen to. Because that's real ignorant. And like, this isn't, that horrorcore, like, like the category you put them in. Right, that's the category you're talking about, right? Yeah. This wasn't horrorcore. BlackenWhite was not horrorcore, and it's really cool. Like the Strip Club song, all of that. So to me, it was like, yo, this is the type of album you could bump in your car. It's not a lyrical album. It's not any of that. It doesn't really fulfill any of my like, oh my god, I need to listen to. It's just a fun album with some dope beats that bang. Them shits bang. Yeah, and I could ride to that. You know how I said like I got iPod music and this shit is riding music. That's why I ride in the car.
Yeah, I think that for me, I think the production by Left Brain, who I first got attracted to at first is music-wise is Left Brain as a producer. And I liked his beats always better than Tyler Creator's beats. And that's what struck me first with this album was the production. Damn. Like, what the hell? Damn, stomach cut me off. But yeah, like Left Brain, man, shout out to Left Brain on the production, man. It was good. And yeah, Haji Beats, man, I mean, the album flowed real well. And it was a lot different from previous Future releases that I've heard before. So I liked it. I mean, a year ago, I liked it.
Yeah, man. You know what? I think it was good, man. I think I can understand why a lot of people really asked us to review it. They really, you know, as we've grown, definitely wanted to know what we had to say about it. I think it was a good album. I think it was definitely something different from what we are accustomed to hearing from our Future. You know, I think sometimes a lot of people think that we don't like our Future, whatever, you know, and I think that's misunderstood. We do. We are fans of our Future. At least I'm a fan of our Future.
I'm a huge fan of
Yeah, so I don't want anybody to really get that twisted, and it really, but we are, and this is a prime example. I think we have issues, but anyway, I'm off topic. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a good album. I understand the re-release. I think now they're trying to captivate on some of their success. So, I mean, if you guys have always liked our Future, have always been a fan of our Future, this is your chance to really go out and cop it, support it, buy it, and give back to the multitude of music that they've given you within the last year or so.
It was good that they put an album out that showed that they're a diverse crew, that they're not just doing this evil dark shit. That look, we're kids and we're putting together albums that are fun too. Check out this Mellowhype album, because like the second it got to that track where it was like, where the fuck is Mellowhype? Mellowhype. I was like, okay, these guys have fucking talent. That's a riding song. Negatives, I really honestly don't have any negatives. I thought it was a great album, especially for a kid to put together. There weren't any tracks where I skipped over. I enjoyed it all the way through.
Same here, to piggyback on Mike, yeah, I think the album was pretty solid. My only negative would be that they took off some tracks from the original one. So don't do that shit no more, man. If you're gonna re-release it, re-release the whole album. You know what I'm saying? Re-release the whole thing. That's my only negative. Good album though.
Yeah, this is funny, man. We all about like the same thing. I love the fact that they have so many different personalities, and you got Tyler doing that, but they can all come together and collab, and that doesn't really happen often in within groups, and even with people that are from different categories, and they try to mesh and they don't mesh. You could tell that there's a genuine friendship amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not something that I found this one guy and I found that other guy and I put them together. You know what I'm saying? They're tight. I like the album. No negatives, man. It's a bumping album. Bump that shit.
Get shanked up and get butt fucked? Yeah. Well, that's not happening, Captain. Not this time, nigga. Back.
Houston, we have a nigga down, and the nigga that did it loves them gun sounds.
Bow. But 666 round. Now that 6 cop found on that ground. All I wanted to do was get that trick down. That 6 set trying to get my kick with wet.
But no, Popo did not want to see
that OFW motherfucking G, nigga. This Wolf Gang. Fuck LAPD. Fuck no, man.